Oh my god, have you seen the comments on my video right now? Like, oh my god, we're gonna have to address this right now. Okay guys, I'm back here with another video. This is the last video I'm going to make about this topic. I'm not gonna turn my channel into this drama channel, but I want to clarify a few things about the video from yesterday. If you haven't watched the video yet, you can go to the video before this on my channel and watch what I'm talking about. But basically, there was an incident with an individual at the grocery store when I was there with my service dog. So I want to clarify, first of all, why did I post the video? Basically, I was there minding my own business, doing something, grabbing something that I needed from the store. So I want to point out to you that my point of that video is to show you what you are not supposed to do. You being just a random person, meaning you are not the owner or you don't even work at the establishment, it's none of your business whether a dog that goes in there is a service dog or not. Number one, if the dog is behaving fine, you have no way of knowing if that's a service dog or not. You cannot tell by how the handler looks, dresses, or walks, and you cannot tell whether they have a disability or not based on those things. So if the dog is behaving such as a service dog, you are to assume that it's a service dog. If the dog is not threatening anyone, it's not misbehaving, and it's not doing anything that would make this animal not a service animal, because part of being a service dog is how they're trained, obviously. So if this dog is not doing anything to show that they are not properly trained, it ends there. It's just like it just stops there. So when this person thought that it was cool for her to stop me, I was listening to music, I was minding my own business. It was none of her business, so she shouldn't have talked to me to begin with. But I always talk to people. I try to answer. I get asked on a daily basis questions about my dog, so I don't have a problem answering that. But the point here is that she asked about my dog being a service dog. She received an answer. She proceeded to ask me if the dog has paperwork. So I want to address some of the comments here that I'm getting on my video, and a lot of them say, that there's no paperwork for service dog. What papers do you have? No paperwork is out there. So I want to point out that if someone plays dumb with me, I'll play dumb back. If someone plays like they're trying to, think that they're smart and they're questioning me, and I can sense that, I'm going to play back the same way. So there's two options here. Number one, she didn't know whether paperwork is required or not, so she was actually asking me, in which case it makes it really ridiculous for you to question someone about something that you don't know anything about. Number two, the second option is she knew that paperwork is not required, and she thought it'd be cool to question me about paperwork. So again, in either case, I think it's fitting for me to give her a sarcastic answer, because it's, number one, none of her business. Number two, she is coming out of her way to question me, and the fact that, after everything played out, that I found out that she knows who I am, so she was doing it on purpose, she's just putting herself in the situation. Like, she knew who I was, she knew her intentions were to prove me wrong, but she didn't have anything to prove me wrong with. She was literally like throwing herself in a hole with no end, because my dog was behaving perfectly fine, and I don't have to have any paperwork, and I don't have to identify my dog as a service dog in any way, shape, or form. So by questioning me, you're putting yourself in the situation where I'm here now talking about you. And now I have all these other comments from her husband, the owner of the business, which is why she thought it would be cool to question me, because I highly doubt she goes to every single person that has a service animal and ask them if they have a service animal or not. I know she did it because she knew who I was. And I have, her husband telling me her side of the story when he wasn't there. I had people with me. I have people that saw it all play out. And I want to point out a couple of things here. They are saying, number one, husband, who is the owner of this dog training company, right behind my property, have come to my page, and I will post the comments that he has made, which are, again, ridiculous, because number one, he wasn't there. He's here trying to defend his wife for her actions, which her actions are wrong. The point of this whole video is to prove that her actions are wrong, and I'm gonna tell you why. If you're not the owner of an establishment and a dog is not bothering you, it is none of your business. So you say you don't want drama, you don't want attention, then why come talk to someone that you know you don't like? Because I have screenshots of other comments that she has made way before this, trying to trash my name when she doesn't even know me, based just solely on what she sees on social media. And I have talked in a previous video what it is like to be in the faces of millions of people, right? And if you don't know that, because obviously you haven't experienced that in your life yet, I have. So I know what it is like. And for you to try to, do what you did to someone like me and think that it's okay when you're in the wrong, and you're in the wrong because you have no right to ask me those questions, and you can ask those questions. You're not going to be breaking the law by doing so, but I also do not have to answer you. And that's why I answered you sarcastically, because I chose to. I do not owe you an answer. You stopped me, you questioned me, you knew I was with my headphones on, you knew I wasn't looking at you, you knew I was doing my own thing, you knew that my dog wasn't bothering you, but you chose to stop me on my tracks and question me, right? So you cannot say that you don't want the attention. Because what do you want? To every time you see me in public, for you to come talk to me and harass me? That is harassment, because you know I do not want to talk to you, right? Because even though I didn't get it all on video, you know what you did. And then her husband asking me if the store actually said I could be there, why did I leave? Why did I leave? Because I was done shopping. I went there to get one single item. So of course I'm gonna leave Walmart. I'm not gonna stay there hanging out, right? I go there and grab what I need and I leave. Now the real question is, why was your wife still outside waiting for me in her car? Just because she can, or because she wanted to, right? She wanted to film me. She was, I don't know, I hope she posted what she got, because she's gonna show an amazing dog behaving perfectly amazing and behaving perfectly, and that's all she could possibly have gotten. I hope she will show you guys what she filmed. But the point is, she was there, for what? She went out of her way for all of this to happen. Okay, let's see what else here. I mean, the most commented comment is, service dogs don't require paperwork, which is true. And some people thinking that, if you question someone and let me just explain something to you. First of all, if someone asks me if I have paperwork for my dog, I may say yes or no. At the end of the day, it ends there. That does not mean that a dog is not a service dog just because I said they have paperwork, because I can answer that sarcastically. But also, let's point out that some people with serious disabilities, more serious than others, their life may depend on a service dog, and they still may not know the ins and outs of a service dog, what they are actually required by law to have and what they're not. They may not know all their rights. So what gives you, a random individual, to question a person and then assume that they are lying to you because they said they have papers? Let's just say that someone else was there and they were actually, let's say, blind, right? And you question them if they have paperwork and they say yes, because maybe another trainer or maybe someone told them that they needed those papers for those dogs. Are you going to leave the store and say that they don't have a legit service dog? That dog is doing all the tasks that they need to, they're performing perfectly well, they're doing everything that they need to in order to classify them as a service dog, right? And this person has a legit disability, they also qualifies for a service dog, right? But you can't assume that just because they said something wrong, that they all of a sudden don't qualify for a service dog, or that their service dog is not a legit service dog. So that's why you're in the wrong. Number one, you cannot tell if someone has a disability. There's many disabilities that you cannot see. I see a lot of rude comments saying how they highly doubt I have a disability, and they're trying to trigger me to say what I have or don't have, and it's not going to happen because it's none of your business, because I don't have the need to. And a lot of people in my shoes do not want to talk about it, right? It's already uncomfortable as it is to live with a disability. People are not going to want to talk about that disability. Most people don't want to. So we have a right, people, anyone, as citizens, we have a right to not want to talk about that, and that's why there are laws to protect us. So you are in the wrong, lady, for thinking that you have the right to come and question me. When I come into your establishment, you are allowed to ask me the true questions. It's permitted by law. But otherwise, when you see me out in public, you do not have the right to, and I wish you had not talked to me. And if you wanted to talk to me, I wish you'd have been more polite and actually ask me in a different demeanor and not questioning me, because now you created this whole thing where it was very unnecessary, because you could have asked me the questions. Like, people ask me all the time. They ask me, is this a service dog? Yes. And then like, what is your disability? And I don't yell at them, I don't record them, I don't post those things, because these people literally don't know better. So I answer them, I don't talk about it. I just don't want to talk about it. That it ends there. Now, if I said that to you and you continue to try to demand me to show proof of what I just said, what I just answered you, then you're ridiculous for doing that. You're just like out of your mind. And you are harassing me for doing that, because you are trying to force me to give you something that I do not owe you. Okay, to summarize everything, what is a service dog? So a service dog is a dog that's trained, properly trained, number one, to behave properly, have amazing manners in public, and then to perform tasks for a person who has a legit disability. That's what makes a service dog, nothing else. Now, what requirements do you need in order to have a service dog? So you need the dog to be properly trained to perform tasks that assist you with your disability, and you need them to be well behaved. Basically a dog that is not barking, lunging at people, not jumping at people, not pulling on the leash, the basics, just a dog that's well mannered. Now, what questions can you ask? As a store owner, as an establishment owner or manager, or if you work there, you are permitted to ask two legal questions. One, is this a service dog, and what tasks does it perform? That's it. You are not required to show any paperwork. You're not required to put any marks on your dog to identify as a service dog, and you're not required to answer to anyone else about your dog or you or your disabilities. Okay, so this person claims to know the law, and apparently she doesn't, because she would know that she does not have the right to question me. And rude questions to ask a person with a service dog. Number one, what is your disability? Again, that's just something that's none of your business. People do not have to tell you, and they shouldn't tell you, especially if you're a stranger and you're looking at someone and asking what is your disability. That's just not cool, and people still do that on a daily basis. Number two, can you make your dog do something? Can you show me what your dog can do for you? Again, that's really rude, because some disabilities, the dog cannot perform a task unless the person actually suffering is actually have an episode of that disorder, that disability. So basically this comes down to knowing that you are not someone who has any authority to question someone in public whether they have a legit service dog or not, unless that dog is completely out of control and is actually demonstrating signs of not being a service dog. Otherwise, you have no other way possible to be able to tell whether a dog is a service dog or not. how the person looks, dresses, and walks, and all of that does not gives you the right answer if the dog is a service dog or not. The only way is by looking at the dog. In which case, I had the video to prove how my dog was behaving. In this case, you are being not a nosy person, and you really need to work on your self-control, because you need to be able to let go if someone does not want to talk to you and answer you, because as you should have known, being that you work for a dog trainer, that you don't have any power over what you want to have control over. You know, you're trying to control other people for no good reason. So you need to really, back off and realize that it's not your business. Like, you have no control over that, and you just really need to, take some time to reflect on your actions and try to have more self-control. Try to not bother people in public, because it does not look good on you, and it's just not right. I mean, I don't want to be questioned by you when I'm out in public, because I do not owe you an answer, and I do not want to have to talk to you. So I ask you to please try to refrain from harassing people in public with things that are just not your business, and really there's nothing for you to be getting involved with. Okay guys, so this will be it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. My videos are usually not about this, but since this incident happened with us, and I don't want people to think that it's okay to do that, I wanted to make a video and tell you guys what happened, especially being that they are other dog trainers, and that those are usually the people that have something negative to say. Instead of just minding their own business, they want to attack other trainers. It's a very cutthroat industry to be in, the dog industry. So other than that, we'll get back to regular videos, so don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.